Fast decisions are often celebrated as a sign of agility. Leaders want teams to move quickly. Projects are accelerated. Approvals are reduced. New solutions are implemented before competitors can react. But speed alone does not create improvement. A fast decision can still be based on weak information. A rapid implementation can still solve the wrong problem. A team can move quickly while drifting further away from the customer's real needs. The difference between speed and learning is the feedback loop. Without feedback, organizations do not know whether their decisions improved the process or simply created a new problem. In this video, we will examine why fast decisions fail, how weak feedback loops damage operational performance, and how Lean Six Sigma can help organizations turn action into structured learning. This is the 5th episode of Modern Lean Six Sigma: Hidden Failures in Operational Excellence. Many organizations confuse agility with speed. They believe that agile teams make decisions quickly, launch solutions rapidly, and avoid long analysis. But real agility is not simply moving faster. Agility is the ability to act, learn, and adjust. A team that implements a solution quickly but refuses to review the result is not agile. It is only fast. Imagine a company facing increasing customer complaints. Management decides that response time is the main problem. The support team receives a new target. Every customer must receive an initial answer within 10 minutes. The metric improves immediately, but the number of resolved complaints does not improve. Employees send quick, generic responses to meet the target, while customers continue waiting for a real solution. The company made a fast decision. It improved the chosen indicator, but it did not improve the customer experience. Without a strong feedback loop, the organization may celebrate the result while the real problem continues. A feedback loop is a structured cycle that connects action to evidence. The organization makes a decision. The decision changes the process. The process produces a result. The result is measured. The organization compares the result with the expected outcome. Then it learns, adjusts, and acts again. A simple feedback loop includes 4 elements: a clear expectation, a measurable result, a review mechanism, a corrective response. If one element is missing, learning becomes weak. For example, a company may implement a new production schedule, but if the expected impact is not defined, the team does not know what success should look like. If delivery, inventory, overtime, and changeover performance are not measured, the effects remain unclear. If the data is collected but no one reviews it, the information creates no learning. And if the review identifies a problem but no corrective action follows, the loop remains open. Feedback becomes valuable only when it influences the next decision. An open-loop system takes action without using the result to control future behavior. Many organizations operate this way. They launch projects. They change procedures. They introduce software. They create new targets. They conduct training. Then they move to the next initiative. No one returns to ask, did the change work? Was the improvement sustained? Did the process create an unexpected effect? Did employees adopt the new method? Did the customer notice a difference? This creates a project culture without a learning culture. The organization becomes active but not necessarily effective. Employees experience constant change. New initiatives arrive before previous ones are stabilized. Standards are updated repeatedly. Priorities shift. People begin to believe that every new program will eventually disappear. This reduces engagement. Why invest energy in a change that may not be reviewed, supported, or maintained? A closed feedback loop creates accountability. It tells the organization that every action will be evaluated against evidence. A feedback loop can exist and still be ineffective if it is too slow. Consider a process problem that begins in the first week of the month. The performance report is only reviewed after the month ends. By the time management recognizes the issue, hundreds of units may already have been produced. Customers may already be affected. Employees may already have adapted to the abnormal condition. The feedback arrived, but too late to prevent the loss. The speed of feedback should match the speed and risk of the process. A safety-critical condition may require immediate feedback. A machine adjustment may require confirmation within minutes. A daily production process may require shift-level review. A strategic improvement project may require weekly or monthly evaluation. The objective is not to monitor everything in real time. The objective is to provide information early enough to support useful action. Fast decisions require fast evidence. Otherwise, the organization creates speed at the beginning and delay at the end. Not every metric creates useful feedback. A metric can improve while the process becomes worse. This happens when the indicator measures activity instead of outcome. A call center may reduce average call duration, but customers may need to call again because their problems were not solved. A maintenance department may increase the number of completed work orders, but recurring failures may continue because the team is treating symptoms instead of causes. A purchasing department may reduce unit price, but quality problems, delays, and inventory costs may increase. A project team may deliver every milestone on time, but the final solution may not meet user needs. These metrics create the appearance of performance. They tell the organization that activity happened. They do not always confirm that value was created. A strong feedback loop connects process indicators to customer and business outcomes. It asks not only, did we execute the action? It also asks, did the action improve the system? Useful feedback often combines leading and lagging indicators. Lagging indicators show the final result. Customer complaints, scrap cost, late deliveries, equipment failures, lost sales. These indicators are important, but they confirm what has already happened. Leading indicators provide earlier signals. Process variation, tool wear, incomplete information, queue growth, missed preventive maintenance, increasing response time, repeated exceptions. A strong feedback loop uses leading indicators to act before the lagging result becomes unacceptable. For example, a company should not wait for a large increase in defects if the process data already shows a clear shift. It should not wait for a customer complaint if delivery reliability is deteriorating. It should not wait for equipment failure if vibration, temperature, or maintenance history already indicate abnormal behavior. Modern Lean Six Sigma is not only about measuring results. It is about detecting process signals early enough to influence the result. The PDCA cycle provides a simple structure for feedback-driven improvement. Plan. Define the problem. Clarify the expected result. Select the measure. Identify the risk. Do. Test the proposed change. Prefer a controlled pilot when possible. Avoid changing the entire system before evidence exists. Check. Compare actual performance with the expectation. Look for both positive and negative effects. Listen to employees and customers. Study variation, not only averages. Act. Standardize the change if it worked. Modify the solution if the result was incomplete. Return to the problem if the original hypothesis was wrong. The check and act stages are where many organizations fail. They invest energy in planning and implementation. But once the change is launched, attention moves elsewhere. Without check and act, PDCA becomes only plan and do. The organization performs activity without completing the learning cycle. One reason feedback loops remain weak is fear. Employees may avoid reporting problems because feedback is associated with blame. A poor result becomes a search for the person responsible. People protect themselves. They hide small failures. They adjust data. They delay escalation. They present good news and avoid difficult information. This destroys the quality of feedback. The purpose of feedback is not to punish people for every deviation. It is to understand how the system is behaving. Leaders should ask, what did we expect? What actually happened? What conditions produced the difference? What did we learn? What should we change? Accountability remains important. But accountability should include disciplined learning, not only judgment. When people can report abnormal conditions early, the organization receives better information. When people fear consequences, the feedback loop becomes slow, incomplete, and unreliable. A strong feedback loop does not need to be complicated. It needs to be clear. First, define the intended result before taking action. What should improve? By how much? Within what period? Second, select a small number of meaningful measures. Include both process performance and final outcomes. Third, define the review frequency. Who will review the data? When? Where? Fourth, establish response rules. What result requires action? Who has authority to respond? What happens when performance moves outside the expected range? Fifth, capture learning. What did the team discover? What assumption was confirmed? What assumption was wrong? Sixth, update the process. Improvement is complete only when the learning changes the standard, method, or next decision. A feedback loop should reduce uncertainty over time. Every cycle should make the organization more capable of understanding its process. Organizations do need speed. Customers change. Technology evolves. Competition increases. Slow decision-making can create lost opportunities. But the answer is not careless acceleration. The answer is shorter learning cycles. Instead of spending months designing a perfect solution, test a smaller change. Instead of implementing across the entire organization, begin with a pilot. Instead of waiting for a final report, review early signals. Instead of defending the original plan, adjust when evidence shows that it is not working. This is how Lean Six Sigma and Agile thinking can work together. Lean Six Sigma contributes problem definition, measurement, root cause analysis, process control, and discipline learning. Agile methods contribute short cycles, experimentation, rapid delivery, and adaptation. Together, they create speed with control. The organization moves quickly, but not blindly. Fast decisions can create competitive advantage. They can remove delay, accelerate improvement, and help organizations respond to change. But a fast decision without feedback is only a fast assumption. The organization takes action without knowing whether the system improved. Real agility requires a closed learning cycle. Define the expectation. Act. Measure the result. Review the evidence. Learn. Adjust. Then repeat. Do not celebrate implementation as if it were success. Do not assume that a better metric means a better process. Do not collect data without creating a response. And do not move to the next initiative before understanding what the previous one produced. The goal is not simply to make decisions faster. The goal is to learn faster. Because organizations do not improve through action alone. They improve when action produces evidence. Evidence produces learning, and learning changes the next decision. In the next episode, we will examine why maximizing resource utilization can reduce flow, increase delays, and damage overall system performance. Subscribe to the channel and continue exploring the hidden failures in operational excellence.